My oral presentation is over chromesthesia. So in order to understand chromesthesia, we must understand the broader topic, which is synthesthesia. There are over 60 different forms of synthesthesia, chromesthesia being one form of synthesthesia. It's a neurological condition that causes the senses to fuse together so you're able to hear colors, see sounds, and taste shapes. Chromesthesia. This is a type of synthesthesia that can hear colors. It's also a neurological condition. So an example of chromesthesia would be playing a note on the piano and being able to see a different color for each musical note. This is represented by the picture on this slide. We still don't know the origins of chromesthesia, but there are multiple theories. So a review of the literature. The neural connectivity theory, which was done in 2000, focused on a surplus of connections within the brain. A study done in 2002, fMRI scans were given to patients with chromesthesia. Study 1, the neural connectivity theory, focused on a surplus of neurological connections being the cause for chromesthesia. This is present in some species of animals. Neural connectivity is a system of synaptic connections. The synaptic connections link certain neurons. The theory wanted to know if chromesthesia is caused by having more synaptic connections than the average individual. Study 2 focused on giving fMRI scans to patients with chromesthesia. fMRI works by finding changes in blood oxygen levels and changes in blood flow. These scans can find differences within the brain. Researchers used these scans to see differences in the brains of people with chromesthesia. It actually showed increased activation in regions around V4 and in STS. So if damage happened to the V4 area located in the left hemisphere, you'll lose color vision in your right half of your visual field. Since activation is increased in the V4 area, it could mean chromesthesia is the result of increased color vision. STS is the superior temporal sulcus. This area of the brain is responsible for audio-visual integration. So audio-visual integration blends hearing and sight. Since STS is increased in patients with chromesthesia, this could mean that chromesthesia is the result of an increased blending of hearing and sight. So comparing and contrasting the studies, both studies focused on an increase in connections to explain the reason for chromesthesia. They also focused both on neurological causes being the reason for chromesthesia. Contrasting the studies, study 2 used an experimental design to test their theory, where study 1 focused more on developing the literature to support the theory as opposed to testing the theory. Study 2 focused on specific areas of the brain, where study 1 focused on an overabundance of neural connections. So my study proposal, my question I want to answer is chromesthesia caused by an emotional response. So my procedure, each participant will listen to 5 genres of music and be asked what emotion they experience when listening to each genre of music. Afterwards, each participant will be given a blank canvas and asked to paint the most frequent color they see when listening to a specific genre of music. The canvas and emotion associated to the genre of music will be compared. My expected results. I expect that chromesthesia will be caused by emotional responses to specific genres of music. So for example, blue is associated with sadness. So if a participant says that genre of music they listened to made them feel sad, then listening to the same genre of music again, they will paint blue on the canvas. If this scenario were to happen, then the hypothesis would be supported that emotional response is associated with chromesthesia. It's important to expand the research on chromesthesia because the cause for this neurological condition is still unknown. Expanding the research on chromesthesia may help neuropsychologists see chromesthesia in a different light. Using my study proposal may be able to identify if chromesthesia is caused by an emotional response rather than a neurological response, or if an emotional response and a neurological response are both present in patients with chromesthesia. And these are my references.